says 1926 New England. An intriguing find in the archives of the Miskatonic Library leads you to an old house on a hill and the mystery of a 10-year-old murder case. Ooh, murder! Yet some mysteries are as old as time and space, and mankind's place in the universe is not as assured as we are led to believe. Dun dun dun! Will you succeed in uncovering the truth with your mind intact? Or will the secret of the house on Sentinel Hill and what lies beyond be your unraveling? You decide the outcome of this terrifying Lovecraftian adventure. Yes, murder. There's been a murder. So I made a little intro, so we're just going to dive straight into that. And we're going to go into it. As you can see already, the character sheet is pretty much straightforward. I've highlighted where our health and composure is, and then we've done the stats where we just have to spend 6 points to make things a bit easier. So you'll see that our base value is 6, then some of them have changed because we added the numbers up. So I'm going to start the intro, and I'll catch you in a minute. Enjoy, you little ruffians. My name is Frank Winston. I'm a journalist, and the tale I'm about to tell you is true. I can barely comprehend what happened to me in that house, and beyond. I try to forget every day. Every day I tried to hold my mind together. I thought back to that fateful day, many weeks prior, that I happened upon the newspaper clipping in the Miskatonic Library archives while researching for my column in the Arkham Gazette. The article was 10 years old. Newport Examiner, October 5th, 1916. Yesterday evening, Sergeant John O'Mahony of the Newport Police Department was called out on business up north to investigate a series of killings that had shocked the sleepy town of Durham. It's been reported that 3 bodies were discovered by the local Reverend Thomas Down in a house 5 miles west of the town. In his report, Sergeant O'Mahony has stated that the victims were members of the Tern family who have been residing in the house for 3 years before, having recently moved to the local from Vermont. The locals say that they were decent folk but certainly kept to themselves, with no known grievances with any of the locals or person known. Further to his investigations, Sergeant O'Mahony has revealed that only 3 of the 4 family members remain accounted for at this time, and a search, possibly a manhunt, is underway to find Edward Tern, the oldest son of 12 years. At the gruesome scene, Jacob the father, Melissa the mother, and Sarah the youngest child of 5 years were all found with a strange puncture wound on their abdomen, and very little blood remaining. There was no blood at the scene. The police would not elaborate further on this matter. The police are also looking for a stranger to the town who was seen acting suspiciously the day before the bodies were discovered. He wandered out of town on foot, seemingly dazed and confused, and avoided the locals. He had an unkempt appearance, with some reporting it looked as though he had been in an accident. Thus far, he has not presented himself for questioning, and the police would like to eliminate him from their inquiries. The house, which sits atop Sentinel Hill, named for its far-reaching view in all directions, is no stranger to bad tidings. It sat empty for 14 years prior due to events in 1899. It was previously the scene of more gruesome murders, which saw a whole generation of a family wiped out by an unknown killer. Could it be the same killer returning after a 17-year absence? Professor Albert Peabody of the Miskatonic University doesn't believe so, but his keen interest in the developing field of forensic science has led him to the house. He is aiding the police with their investigation. At his request, and by order of the Newport Police Department, the house will not be deemed habitable again. Also, after the initial investigations, Professor Peabody has asked that the house remain standing to preserve the crime scene. Forensic science may take years to mature, but when it does, we would be able to walk back into that building and study the evidence contained within its walls with new perspectives. One day, we may discover the truth. I had tried to contact Professor Peabody at the university, but he'd been away on a research trip for years. An old friend of his, Professor George Stein, hadn't heard from him in all that time, but had remarked that Albert had initially been obsessed with the old case of the house for a long time, but eventually just lost interest in it and suggested to all to forget about his own pointless interest in the place. He remarked he was ashamed he wasted so much time on the worthless endeavour. Then, one day, he just left the university grounds to travel for research. The university wasn't funding his trip, and so no one could say where he was. There was no paper trail to follow. I decided to indulge my curiosity and plan a trip to Durham. As I mentioned, I write for the Arkham Gazette, with unsolved mysteries, folklore, and local legends being my main interest. My column, What Lies Beneath, was rather popular, and this tale seemed like quite a find. I felt compelled to see this place for myself. How I wish I never had such inclinations or morbid predilections. How I wish I never found that accursed house on Sentinel Hill. Ta-da! I don't think any of you realize how much I struggled trying to say the O'Mahony, whatever the last name of that fucking sergeant was, because I could not get that word out, that last name out, for a long time. I struggled so hard. But yeah, there we go. That's the intro of the book that is in here. This is a chunky book, so there's many outcomes and deaths. But, yeah, there we go. So, we are Frank, or as I like to call him, Frank, because that's the posh version of Frank. You do not want an audiobook from me, because I struggle. I would be very bad at that. But thank you, that's mighty kind of you. What are we called again? Frank Watson or something stupid like that, right? Wait, I can't even remember. Frank Winston, there we go. Frank Tinglenut, that will work. I agree, audio. No, what would I even read? No one would want to hear that. Smut. Anyway, so let's fucking get in on this then. Let me get the background noises ready, because I want some form of noise. You find a book, Bummalum. You said it, not us. Shut up. You find like a small little book for me to do, and I'll do it. Okay, let's hopefully this won't be too loud. Okay, this is fine. So the thing with these kind of books is that there's a lot of writing to read at the beginning before we even get to an option. So let's just enjoy this. The year is 1926. Oh really? Do you? Oh, you've got them in order of how you want to read them. Fucking do it. Lost. Oh hey, thank you so much for following. I appreciate that. That's mighty kind of you. I'm doing a reading sprint later, Bumble, if you do want to join in. But yes. So let's start this. The year is 1926, September the 23rd. The time is 4:45 p.m. The fading sun casts a grey silhouette across the crumbling road as your car bumps and crunches its way through the falling leaves. The multicoloured tree line sways in the early fall breeze, with most of their leaves still clinging on. The roadside thickets and overhanging trees clip the side of your automobile every few feet. You hear cracks and snaps as the twigs that stray too far break off, or are snapped under the wheels. The town of Durham must not get many visitors, at least not using this route. The birds are singing, however, with chirps and songs aplenty, seemingly taking no notice of your intrusion. You are thankful at least that the area is not silent, for it weren't for the birdsong. You fancy that it would be slightly foreboding to the outsider. You shrug off those fanciful thoughts and emerge from under the canopy of leaves. The trees thin out and become meadows, extending far on both sides of the road. Tall grass sways in some, while others are clearly victim of the harvest, bare and flat. A beaten-up old sign nailed to a thick post reads Durham. Squinting through the glare of the low sun, you see the town up ahead. How dare you? We don't talk about Le Hans. You enter the town and pull your vehicle into a garage. The sign over the place reads Pete's Fuel Depot. You don't need fuel just yet. You've more than enough of the time being. You're looking for directions to Sentinel Hill before it gets too late. You had hoped to arrive hours earlier, but took a wrong turn in Kingsport. The garage has just one pump and looks a little run down. The paint is peeling from the wood, panelled walls, and there is no sign of any attendant. Stepping out of the automobile, you look up and down the street, thankful for the opportunity to stretch your legs. It's quiet. You spot an elderly lady shuffling along on the other side of the road, paying you no heed. There's not another soul around. What will you do? So will we approach the old lady for directions, or will we ignore her and just enter the garage? What are we thinking? Talk to the old lady? Or just think, nah, let's go to the garage? I'm not much of a monster. It wasn't my fault the horse drowned in mud on Lone Wolf. Speak to the witch. Okay, turn to number 8. You die instantly. I'm curious. Okay. You take a few steps towards the old lady, which prompts her to stop walking. I don't know if I want to do accents. Do we want to do accents? Fuck it. Good afternoon, ma'am. I was wondering if you could help me, and I'm not sure about around these parts. And you don't say, answers the woman cutting you off. Her head is bowed. Her heavily lined face remains fixed on the path in front of her feet. You can see her eyes and heavy brow rise to look at you. What will you ask her? Tell her you're looking for Sentinel Hill and ask if she can direct you? Or do we inquire about the town and the absence of people? What are you thinking, my loves? What do we think? I'm so sorry about these voices. I just thought it'd be funny. Might make it a little bit more interesting for us. The brewery's got me sussy. Oh, has it got you sussy, has it? Oh, God. But that still does, you know, still the question. Do we want to ask her about Sentinel Hill, how to get there, or are we going to be like, yo, where's the people of this town? Like how the brow race got you sussy. It is a tough choice. It's all good because we can always, like, there's different. Your call, Captain. Okay, well, I kind of want to know what's going on, so I'm going to inquire, about the town and the absence of people, unfortunately. In which I say 7 deaths. Why? 5, 6. Why do I have to die? Watch us die instantly, though. I had to mute at that point, so I missed the options. It's all good. We're doing voice things, unfortunately, now, so you're kind of screwed. You inquire about the lack of people around. She's the only person you've seen. She lifts her head and then looks you up and down. God. Being a big city fella, you must think every place be full of people flapping around bumping into each other. Not here, lad. People about doesn't mean they want to be eyeballed by strangers, It would be unsettling for you. How about you get on back to your mobs? Have fun, then. She seems indignant and starts to shuffle away, mumbling to herself. You realise she hasn't told you how to get to the hill. You attempt to ask her, but she waves you away, saying you're best leaving it well alone. What will you do now? Do we enter the garage and ask there? Call it a day, look for a lodging, and get a fresh start. And oh, it's given us quite a few things here. What non bitch? Can we shoot her? We don't have a gun. We have our satchel, a flashlight, and the newspaper article we talked about in the intro. So we can either enter the garage and ask there, or call it a day, look for a lodging, and get a fresh start in the morning, or we can return to our car and drive on. Perhaps there will be a sign to point us in the right direction towards the hill. I apologize for people who are going to like watch this or just coming in. It's going to be like, by the way, we're doing voices for characters, but I don't know what voices I'm using. Yeah, that's quite a lot of options. So, garage, and ask there, call it a day, look for somewhere to sleep, or get in our car and just drive and see if there's any signs. I like how she didn't even answer our question. She's just like, yo, there's people here, they just don't want to be seen by you. It's like, that doesn't tell me anything. Sleep on it. You think we should call it a day and look for a lodging? Your voices are the fucking best. They soothe my soul and put a giggle in my... Well, I'm glad they put a giggle in your face. That's the main thing. I miss doing that with the Final Fantasy games that we do. So we could sleep on it. You know what? Let's do it. I'm just making sure I write down where we're going in this. In case we do die, we don't have to start straight from the beginning again. Right, so we're going to 372 to call it a day and find a lodging. 37... Ooh, gone too far. 372. Now, you'll notice this is a chunky hardback book as well, so... You wander around looking for a vacancy sign, half expecting you won't find one given the run of poor luck the end of the trip has taken, but thankfully, you managed to find one. The landlords are a middle-aged couple. You apologise for the late hour and explain your brief visit and the need to get off the road for the night. After a late bite to eat and a long tiring day, you fall into an uneasy sleep. That is, until you're suddenly woken in the middle of the night, turn to 168. Oh, this isn't going well already. What do you think's going to happen? Oh. What was that? 168 it was, wasn't it? Oh. Your eyes flick open. Flashes of green light fill the room through the window. Green lightning? The window is open, but you were sure it was closed when you retired for the night. Oh, help us! You promised! A distant voice, terrible and raspy. Oh, it was raspy. I can't do raspy. Your heart nearly stops as you dart your eyes about the room. Who? Oh wait, who? Who's there? Show yourself, you stammer. More flashes of green light pour through the window. You said you would. Go back! What do you do? What do you do? Do we leap out of bed and search the room for the source of the voice? Or do we try and talk to the strange voice? They're in cahoots with the witch. I believe that. This is her fault. So, that's the question. Do we leap out of bed and search for the source? Who are you going to call? Not me, because I will run for my life. Or do we try and talk to the strange voice? So I want to be like, we're totally logical, right? We're not logical at all, but I can pretend that I'm a logical thinker. We could, I am thinking, we could actually search the room for the source of the voice. I think we could do that instead of being like, yo, there's a strange voice, let's talk to it. I'm going to be like, I'm going to find out what it is. Though that could be a bad decision. See, the last time I made a decision was in Lone Wolf and the horse died, so I don't want to do it. Okay. So, we could do... We're going to search the room. So, 236. 236. You leap from the bed and look about, quickly glancing under the bed and all around. There's just no feasible place for someone to hide in this room. We can either A, approach the window, or B, try and talk to the strange voice. So either put A to approach the window, or B to talk to the strange voice. This is already going to go bad for us, I can tell that already. Try, right. Consume. Yes. That there's a strange voice, but there's nothing, nowhere in the room for someone to hide. I still don't want to talk to the voice. Do we want to talk to the voice? We'll approach the window. What do you think? Approach the window? Talk. Oh, you want to talk to them? Okay. Talk to them. 528. Let's talk to them. 528 it is. Window is escape route. It probably is. Who's there, you say, standing in the middle of the room. There's no feasible location for the speaker to hide. You approach the window. There is no one in the street. Yo, Victory! Thank you for the raid, my dude. How you doing? Did you enjoy the rest of your stream? I hope you had a good stream, my friend. It was interesting, that game you were playing. It was a nifty little game. Intruders, yes. Who's there, you say, standing in the middle of the room. There's no feasible location for the speaker to hide. You approach the window. Come on! How you doing? Oh, yeehaw! I'm British, we do not yeehaw. I wish we did. I wish we had something cool like that, but we don't. So, sad times for us. You'll probably think we're all like, tea and scones. How you doing? You alright? You being good? You looking after yourselves? You have a good stream? Also British. Yay! Also don't yeehaw, but sometimes I wish we did. You should start. Just yeehaw. Okay, we'll just start yeehawing. Jenny, I'm gonna yeehaw next time. Aww. There is no one in the street. Great stream. Good. I'm glad you had a good stream. Well, a great stream even. That's awesome. That pleases me. Makes me very happy. The sky fills again with a flash of the sickly green light. In the distance you see a hill, and perched atop the silhouette of the house. Could that be the source of light? The voice, much fainter now, as though it were travelling on the wind, speaks one last time. Come, Frank. You promised. The speaker knows your name. You wait, expecting more. Your heart rate eases, and nothing more is said. It's only then you notice the chill of the air blowing in the room and quickly latch the window closed as one last flash floods the room with a green haze. You turn to get back into bed, but find it gone. Wait, the bed's gone? What the? Yes, Bummelum thinks you're the intruders. Le gasp. Okay, so you turn to get into the bed, but you find it gone. Turn to 569. This is Jenny's fault. This was your choice. Right. Damn, Frank. 569. I'm not even gonna look at the camera anymore. The green haze lifts, and you find yourself standing in a long corridor. The floor, the walls, and the ceiling all glint of polished metal, smooth and cold to the touch. Sound the alarm! A bit of freaking Star Trek going on with the alarm going off. At the end of the corridor are 3 markings set into the walls. You see an oval marking in the wall ahead, a circle on the left wall, and a square in the right-hand wall. They are each large enough to be a door, but smooth and flush with the wall, with no obvious way of opening. I always have to agree. There's a low thrum in the air. You cannot tell if it's from the floor, the walls are just in the air itself. The air smells of ozone after a lightning storm. So we can either A, call out to see if someone will answer, B, examine the circle marking to the left, C, examine the square marking on the right, or we can ignore them and we can examine the oval marking at the end of the corridor. Oh, we're being invaded! Oh no! Le gasp. What do we do with invaders? I don't know. What would you do? How am I being invaded? It's like, in which way am I invaded? I like ozone smell. See, thunder and lightning kind of freaks me out a little bit because many years ago, This is where I'm going to over-disclose a little thing for you. When I was a wee little shitling in high school, there was a woman on the news. We're talking a good, like, 20 years ago, by the way. Yeah, 20 years ago when I was in high school. I was around about 14. And there was a woman on the news, and basically she got struck by lightning and her leg got blown off. Right, let me just tell you this. Her leg got blown off, and they were like, oh my god, what was going through your mind? Well, you know, what was your thought process? She was literally like, do you honestly want to know my thought process? And they were like, yeah. And she was like, that I just bought them shoes. And that was her legit thought process. And I'm just like, your leg got blown off. That is terrifying. We offer them a nice cup. Oh, let's offer them a nice cup of tea. Let's do it. Oh, I need a cup of tea at some point tonight. My username used to be Invader Kim after... Oh, Invader Sim. I used to watch that. That was the cartoon, right? I think it was a little green dude. Pretty sure. But yes, are we going to call out to someone? Examine the circle on the left, examine the square on the right, or examine the oval marking at the end of the corridor. Turns out we were invaders after all. That's true, we were the invaders. You're the one being invaded, Kim. Not us. It's a little Uno reverse. If our raid call should have been RPG, VPG, RPG, VPG should, yeah. I think it should be. I think we should call out to see if anyone will answer. So I'm going to go for that, because no one said anything. So we'll go for that, and then we'll see what goes on. I'm going to put this here, so I've got a beard for once. So we're going to call out, which is 574. Oh, Leon. You could be an invader, Berry. You are more than welcome to be one. Absolutely. You call out. Wait, what was his voice that we used for him? Oh, hello, where am I? And are immediately struck with the oddity of your own voice. The acoustic effect in the hallways brings your voice back to you in an echo that sounds eerily like the voice from your room a moment ago. No one answers. You decide to investigate the markings on the wall. We can either examine the circle, the square, or the oval. Let's just go in a full circle. Let's do the circle first. So we're going to go do that. So that's, what's that, 100? Yeah, examine the marking on the left, which is 100. So what's everyone's plans for today, then? Where is this? 100, nearly there. Jeez, book is big. As you start walking, the metal floor sounds unnaturally loud with your footsteps. I'm free from where you now have my full attention. Darn tootin' I do! Yeehaw! Loud with your footsteps. You reach out to touch the edge of the shape, and as you do, it sweeps aside to reveal a passage on the other side. The passage is undefined, blurred. You step through to see what lies beyond, and as you do, you suddenly lurch forward, sliding down a metal tube. The tube is slick and feels wet. Before you can get your bearings, you are deposited into a dark, cavernous chamber. Oh, your landing is soft enough, accompanied by a loud squelch as you find yourself atop a pile of offal. The smell is sickening. You try to move to sit upright, but instead slide down one side of the mound of flesh and entrails, rolling over and over. Hitting the bottom of the mound, you spit repeatedly, feeling the entrails all over you. You stand up and look around. The chamber seems infinite, with hundreds of mounds of bones and guts in all directions, and each with a single light source above the peak of the mound, where an opening for a chute lies. Human skulls are evident in the masses of meat and bone. Make a hard composure check. So our composure, how do we do a composure check? So we need to do, which is 2, with this die, with the white die, by the way. So we need to roll 2d6 plus 1. Yeah, but, our composure, we need to roll below 10, basically, we're looking at. So let's roll, yes, so we rolled a 6. So that's good, so we succeed, because we've rolled under the 10. And as we fail, we lose a point, so it gets worse and worse, and we get, like, different things taken away from us. So let's see how this goes. So we managed to do that. Earth Day. So I'm going to be on Earth. Earth Day. Hasn't Earth Day already been? Oh shit, store closed soon, so I should go get what you need, Bummelum. We'll be here. Go do what you need. Your health and need for food and consumption is more important. The only way out is the way you came in, through the chutes above. Impossible to reach. You spend the rest of your short life here. Slowly going hungry and mad. Wait! What? Did we just die? Already? Recording your investigation, you dreamt. Oh! Oh, thank God. I thought we died. Wait. Let me move you over here for a second. Right, we have to go to investigative journal. Okay, we have to type this in now. This is where I'm going to be like, Oh my God, I thought we died. I was like, wow, we died pretty fast. Dreamt of a... Oh my God. It was all a dream! Terrifying. Was a pit. Oh, filled with... Oh, we're going to do it like that. Flesh and bone. We get 4 of our mytho things. So we're at a... Oh. We add these up at the end, by the way. We get different outcomes. Okay, well, I know what that means. Jesus Christ. Dream journal, yep. We have our journal entries. Oh, that is until you wake up, turn to 500. This is going to absolutely throw me, I think. This music as well. This music literally reminds me of Mars Attack, though. I'm not going to lie. I know I've been talking about that for a couple of days, but I kind of really want to watch it soon. And I think we should. No, it's... Oh, I thought Earth Day was like last week. It's today. We'll be doing Earth Hour, turn off the power, everything in my apartment between 8... Oh, damn. Well, set my fridge. No, that must suffer too. I'm sorry, Kim. You gotta turn it off. No, I'm joking. Okay. You awake, not in the bed, but on the floor between the bed and the window. You feel tired as though you haven't really slept at all. You know you dreamt last night, but the memory of it has faded from your mind. Dragging yourself to your feet, you immediately go to the window. It's raining outside. The morning is heavily overcast and grey. Still, with your mind made up, you get dressed and prepare for the journey to the house. You do remember seeing flashes of green light, that much you recall, and you strongly believe that wasn't part of any dream. Once downstairs, you casually ask the landlady if she saw anything odd last night, or lightning, but she reports nothing, giving you a quizzical look. You get your automobile checked over at Pete's Fuel Depot, as you do not want to have any trouble in the rain. After some small talk and further confirmation that nothing was seen last night, you drive unsatisfied with the condition of your vehicle. The rain is heavy at times, lessens, then returns with a vengeance. The road is muddy and bumpy. There's enough daylight to afford you a glimpse of the hill every 100 or so feet through a weakened tree line. Directions or not, finding the house in the day is a far easier task than last night proved. You arrive at the track that leads to the house and suddenly recall the strange voice from last night, an echo of a nightmare. Refusing to let your imagination get the better of you, you take a deep breath and exit your vehicle. You turn your collar up against the rain and step through the tree line. You head up the track to the house, turn to 388. It's all good. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. And it would be a shame for the ice cream to melt. I don't think that would be a good idea, to be honest. You are correct. So yeah, we're going to 388. Oh, see, I wish you could see this because it's like, it actually shows like a picture. It's got some decent art going on in the book. The track leads steadily upwards, twisting and turning through the blighted landscape. A tunnel of dead trees looms over either on... Oh, wait. English is hard. Also, I'm going to top off my hot skillet brand. I don't know. Oh, I want a brownie. Damn it. A tunnel of dead trees looms on either side of the trail. Despite the dull morning, you're immediately drawn to the site between two twisted grey trees directly ahead of you. The house. Though the house stands atop the hill, the thickly knotted tree branches and dense, lifeless briars lend the area almost completely... Oh, wait, what? Lend the area almost complete privacy and inaccessibility, save for this one track you followed. The grey mottled wood panelling of the house seeps into the skyline behind, making the house look undefined, as though it were willing its surroundings to shadow it and hide it away. Each of the downstairs windows are boarded up, with the upper floor windows in various states of disrepair. The attic window atop and centre is the only fully intact window you can see. The front door is also intact, though the porch is littered with loose timber wood panels, twigs and other woodland debris. There is no sign at all of living vegetation. Dead, crumbling creeper vines cling to the outer walls like grey varicose veins running upwards on the thatched roof. The roof tiles appear to be intact on this side from what little visibility you're afforded on the ground. Oof. The rain continues to beat down as you head up the porch steps, taking care not to trip over the myriad of loose branches littering the way. Thankful for the shelter, you stop to take a breath. Loose streams of water run down each side of the porch and batter the muddy ground. Check your investigation journal. If you have recorded you have been invited to the house, you must turn to the... We do not have that. Because you were warned to leave the house. Nope, don't have that. If you don't have either of the following reference, you must choose one of the following instead. We can either A, knock on the door, B, try the door to see if it's unlocked, or C, turn around the side, head around the side of the house and look for another way in. What would you want to do? Do you want to A, knock the door, B, try the door to see if it's unlocked, or C, head around the side of the house and look for another way? It is up to you, my peeps. Oh wait, I want a drink. I think we should knock. Yeah, I think we should... I'm gonna knock. I think knocking is a good idea. So 212. Of me trying to find it. The door has a rusted metal knocker in its centre. You knock on the door and wait. After a few moments, you knock again. Hello, anyone there? You call out after you feel enough time has passed. You're about to try again when suddenly the door opens a crack and a man's face appears. Yes, he asks. Sorry to bother you, sir. Frank Winston. I write for the Arkham Gazette. Arkham, you say? Arkham? You're from that blasted university, aren't you? You're about to protest and deny it when the door is slammed shut. University, Miskatonic. Could this be Professor Peabody from the newspaper article? Did he come back to the house? You call out his name and add that you just want to talk. You're not far into trying to explain yourself when the door is fully opened. He looks around late 50s, about 5'5" in height and unshaven. Balding at the crown of his head, his remaining grey hair is a little long and unkempt. Yes, I'm Professor Peabody. Best you come in, Frank from Arkham. You get a sudden rush of excitement and step over the threshold. Thank you very much, Professor, you say, looking about the dark hallway ahead. The main staircase runs up the right-hand side and the hall ends in a door with another door to the right at the foot of the stairs. Up the stairs, lad. Save me some effort. You move to head up the stairs. Turn to 69. Bow, chicka, bow, wow. Wow. I'm an adult. 9. You turn and start to take the stairs when suddenly you get a sharp pain in your back. The professor stuck... Oh my... What? This old man... What? The professor has stuck a syringe in you when your back was turned. What the hell? You let out a cry while trying to reach back and pull it out. What on earth? You shout, confused. The professor stands back, emotionless, as your vision blurs. You fall to your knees, then black out. Turn to 120. This fucking... All the old people are coming for us in this book. You know what? Disney taught us not to trust old people with them being the villains, and this is a sign as to why we should, you know, not trust them. Flashes of green light pierce your vision. A pulsing thrum sends pain through your head. You try to open your eyes, but all you see is a blur. And then a flash of green forces them shut again. You hear a cry. It's working! It sounds distant and drawn out. You fade in and out of consciousness. In your waking state, you think you hear a terrible scream. Then there's a sudden silence. When you fully awake, you're lying on the floor. Your hands and feet have been tied, but you notice your bonds have been cut. You push yourself up to a sitting position. It appears you are in the attic. It is dark, with only one grimy window for a light source down the far end facing you. The rain beats down noisily on the roof above. Standing in the middle of the attic floor is a strange metal device about 4 feet tall. It is a pillar of polished metal that glints in the dim light of the attic, and like tentacles, many copper wires snake their way from openings in the device, running across the floor and disappearing into the walls. A perfect sphere of the same polished metal sits atop the device, set partway into the base. In an almost perfect circle 3 feet around the device lies a ring of dead animals, everything from rats, mice, flies, beetles, and centipedes. Some look fresher than others. The possibility of a bad smell is masked instead with the odour of chlorine bleach. What you see just beyond the device sends you into a mild shock. The professor is lying on the floor, his body twisted at the middle while his lower half is facing almost entirely the wrong direction. Blood runs down from the seams of the floorboards. His eyes are open wide, frozen in terror. Make a very hard, very hard means we have to roll a certain, that's the +2, okay. Very hard composure test, so we need to get 10 or below. If you fail, we lose 2, if we pass, we lose 1. 4, 4, so that's, we do pass, but we lose 1 composure. So, let me just, move that. And we're now on 9 composure. That's not blue. I want blue, please. Ah, it's fine. Bugger it. Okay, we lose 1 composure. Something moves in the far corner. Lurking in the darkness is a small, hunched figure. You're about to ask who is there when it speaks first in a strained and raspy voice. You fumble to take your flashlight. Frank, where are my family? You must go back. How? How do you know me? You answer, both terrified and overwhelmingly intrigued. Frank, it's me, Edward. You saved me. What is this? Did you kill the professor? You ask, your nervousness showing through. Yes, I had to. He planned to stop us. He is working for them. That's how it's spelling them, by the way, with the them. It's then that you notice blood dripping from the serrated edge of the claw at the end of his arm. Edward lurches to one side and starts to shuffle out of the darkness towards you. What do you do? Decide this is all too much and flee the house? Use your flashlight to get a better look at the figure? Or ask more questions to find out exactly how this could be Edward? I don't know who Edward is. Isn't that one of the names from like the family that like died here? Or something like that? So, that's the choices. Do we want to flee the house? A, flee the house. B, use our flashlight to be like, yo, let me get a look at your face. Or B, be like, you know what? We're going to just take this as it is and we're going to ask you some questions. I don't even know how. The fact that it was like the dude, what is it, Professor Peabody, his body was like half turned the wrong way is disgusting for me. I think that's really gross. I'm just saying. The choices are A, flee the house. B, use our flashlight to get a better look at the figure. Or C, ask more questions and find out exactly how this could be Edward. It's a miracle we've not died yet. I'm just saying. We don't... So, what I can guess is, when I played the little intro video, I think you were working. Let me see. Where is it? Edward, we found an article, and there was a fan that was murdered in this house, but Edward, the eldest son of 12 years old, was the only one that was missing, and they never found him. So that's the only Edward that we know. That we know of. We've not met this Edward, we don't know who this Edward is, but they're just saying, like, yo, it's me. With their claw hand. Flee! You think we should flee? Okay, so we decide this is all too much and flee the house. Turn to 198. Or just get killed. We make bad decisions all the time. Okay, 198. You drop your flashlight before you can even turn it on and make your mind up to get out of this house of horrors. You turn and flee, which prompts a terrible cry of anguish from the unseen speaker. You suddenly hear the bounding of it moving fast through the attic behind you as you flee down the stairs. You hit the bottom of the attic stairway when that terrible cry goes out again. Frank! Only this time the cry is right behind you. It's fast, incredibly fast. Perhaps you're a victim of its rage, or perhaps a victim of its intense desire to have you accomplish something for it, that it catches you too quickly. But in the pursuit, you are knocked forcibly down the main stairs. You turn and twist over and over. Your neck snaps at the bottom step and all goes dark. Record your investigator journal. You were pushed down the stairs and killed. Fuck's sake. -5? We're at -1 now. So let me just do that. It's now a -1. Well, fuck me. So that's as 1 investigation. Okay, let me add this here. Pushed down the stairs. Oh god, I'm doing this one hand. Stairs. And killed. This is going well, everyone. That was 199. There we go. Oh wait, we've died once. Oh, so we can actually there we go. We've died once. But we're just going to do a little bit of a rewind and come here and we're going to do something else. Okay, so we can either use our flashlight to look at them. No. It's all good. It's all an experience hunt. It's not, whoops. You know, so the next options is we can either A, use our flashlight to look at him, or B, ask questions and find out exactly how this could be Edward. Never apologize. It's all fun and games. It is all fun and games. Flashlight. Cool. Flashlight, turn to 350. 350. I hope if I could actually get the page right though, wouldn't it? Hello, Tater Tot. How you doing? How's life? How's things? What you been up to? Right. You raise the flashlight and flick the switch. The shape before you hisses loudly, raising its arms to cover its face. You are shocked by the sight. His face is that of a boy, but gaunt and sickly, with a hunched, misshapen body. His torso is slightly twisted, while his right foot is turned and looks to be dead weight. His right arm is elongated, nearly twice the length of his arm should be, and worse still, at the end in place of a hand is a hideous, engineered prosthetic of a metal claw. The claw is articulated, wired, and jointed. It looks jagged and sharp. Off! Turn it off! His cry of anguish chills your soul, but it also sounds angry. What do we do? Do as he asks and turn the flashlight off, or do we press the advantage and get some answers first? What would you like to do? So A, turn off flashlight, or B, be like, nah, give us answers first. Answers. Alright, we're going to press the advantage, get some answers, turn to 371. Doing right, doing the work things again. Ah, the joys of that. How's that going? 371, that's where we're going. I'm doing good. I'm living life. I've got a couple of days off, and then I'm back in work. So I thought I'd just take the advantage of what I can do. Chill, do this, and then read some books and play games. And that is my plan. So, 371. You take a step forward, finding some reservoir of resolve, and aim the flashlight directly at him. Edward, you said. Are you Edward Turn? It goes off. He turns about and tries to find a dark corner to retreat to, but there are none to hide in while you have the flashlight. His anger overcomes him, and he lashes out. The elongated arm and claw grasp you by the neck. You instinctively drop the flashlight and grip the claw with both hands to try and prise it open. The metal is cold to the touch. I said off, he cries. Make a hard check. Oh, God. Okay. So we're doing our strength +1. That's 5 + 1, which is a 6. So we roll underneath it because our strength is a 7, so we're good. So we pass, so we turn to 302. Oh. Yeah, I'm living life. Things are going well. I'm very happy. And that's really the main thing. 302. Conjuring up every last ounce of strength, you manage to pry the claws apart. However, you feel yourself losing again when suddenly he lets you go of his own accord. You step back in terror. I am sorry, Edward says, backing away again into the darkness. Feeling equal parts revulsion and pity for the thing before you, you pick up and turn the flashlight off. You take this opportunity to ask questions. What do you want to ask? Do you want to ask A, where has he been all this time? B, how does he seem to be the still only 12-year-old? Or C, do we ask about his claw and other physical changes? So A, where has he been? C, no. A, where has he been? B, how is he still only 12? Well, somewhat 12. And C, why does he have this claw and what are all these other changes going on? Maybe lock the doors and turn the lights down low. A, we got A. Alright then. My left butt cheek hurts, it's nice and sore. Right, we'll go into A, you said. Where has he been all this time? So, 90. Let's go to 90. You ask where he's been all this time. You ask where has he been all this time. He puts his head down and places his one good hand over it. We have been there, fighting them. You know this. You made me leave them. Had to leave them behind or die. But now, you go back as promised. I have the key. Edward produces a small, glowing diamond-shaped object from his pocket and moves toward the machine. Turn to 353. This is going to be bad. 353. Edward inserts the diamond-shaped object into a recess on the side of the machine. It begins to hum. He then turns some of the dials in frustration. Which is it? Ugh, Frank! He looks up at you with a pleading look in his eyes. What do you want me to do? You ask, horrified at the entire macabre scenario that is playing out before you. He steps back, pointing at the dials. You must know how to activate, like before. His frustration is growing and seems it may lead to violence. You don't know how much longer he will restrain himself. What will you do? Will we A, approach the dials and attempt to operate the machine? Or B, Tell Edward that you have never seen this device before and that you do not know how to operate it. Where was I at? Yeah. So yeah. In this sort of situation, what I would do is I'd be like, sure, let me touch all the things. Okay, I'm gonna go up to it. I'm just gonna touch all the things. That's my plan. Let me just put this here in case we die, because I know it's me. So I'm gonna approach the dials and attempt to operate the machine. Just be like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. 195. Okay, I'll try. Give me a moment. You plead as you take a closer look at the device. The metal of the device is smooth and polished. 4 prominent dials are set into the pillar and are etched with a single point each, denoting where they can be adjusted to small notches and circle each dial, similar to a dial on a safe. And one notch resting directly at the east point is larger than the others. You summarize this could be denoting a 0 position. There are no other distinguishing close enough marks or numbers. You believe they could be angular degrees based on the number of marks present around each dial. How do you want to set the first dial? Do you want to set it to 100 degrees, 90 degrees, 190, or 75? So this is just luck of the draw, I think, because we don't know what we're doing. I think probably it might be like, you know, there is a certain thing, but I don't think we've maybe we've gone through like the wrong door or something. I don't know. Well, we can't have gone wrong the wrong door. This is pretty much from the get-go. Should we just choose a random number? Should I just like run my finger over it and just be like, we're gonna pick one of these? Do it that way. I'm gonna do it that way. 90 degrees. 342. What? 342. You turn the first dial to what you would believe to be 90 degrees. How do you want to set the second dial? 45, 121, or 37? This is gonna absolutely. 121. 247. I'm just choosing random numbers. 2, just so we can get through this bit. This bit's back with me. 247. You turn the second dial to what you would believe to be 121 degrees. I'm gonna. Oh, we get an option just to leave it as 0. I'm gonna assume that's an option, so we're just gonna go to 25. You leave the dial set on 0 degrees. How do you want to set the fourth dial? Oh, it's not even set at 0 degrees, so we're just going to turn it to, turn to 447? I don't know. These numbers, not good for safes. 447. Damn. You set the fourth dial to 0 and step back from the device. Suddenly, a bright flash of green light shoots upwards from the sphere atop the machine. A low thrum pulses in the air and the light flickers. Slowly at first, then faster and faster until it becomes a solid beam firing upwards. I'm confused. We found there's a device in the attic that we're at, and I literally just guessed what numbers. I moved my finger up and down to guess them, and I think we've got it to work somehow. But I know that depending on what numbers you put, it's different things, so we'll see. A low thrum pulses in the air and the light flickers, slowly at first, then faster and faster until it becomes a solid beam firing upwards. You back away, not knowing what to expect. Edward stares intently at the beam of light. Yes, he cries excitedly. You did it! The sphere starts to tilt, sending the beam downwards, coming to rest parallel with the floor. Where it strikes the attic wall, it seems to form what you can only describe as a doorway. However, you cannot see through it. There is nothing but darkness on the other side. Go now, Edward cries. Go before it's too late. Equal part terrified and fascinated, you step up to this shimmering doorway. The thrum on the machine pulses through your head. Now, Edward cries from behind you. You consider the possibility of dashing to the attic stairs and getting as far away from the nightmare as you can. Before you can, Edward loses patience and pushes you through. You stumble through the portal to enter 490. Oh, well, this isn't going to be good because we've gone through a portal. A quick flash forces your eyes shut. Then you open them again as you emerge on the other side. The air from your lungs is sucked out instantly. The bitter cold and blackness of space freezing your insides. Your eyes bulge as the blood vessels in your body explode. You die almost instantly, drifting forever in the vast emptiness of space. Your calculations were wrong. Record in your investigator journal. You went through this portal and died in the vacuum of space. Bugger, okay. I'm just going to put died in space. Died in space. That was 490. Oh my god. Well, GG. So that is also going to be a 2. And we get -3. So we're at -4 now. And that is 2 deaths. We're doing very well. The investigation ends here. This is difficult. That's 2 deaths. This is a hard one. Okay, so I'm gone back to where we could attempt to do it, or we can be like, listen, I don't know how to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and be like, listen, I don't know how to use this device before. I've never seen it. So I'm going to go to that. So that leads us to 554. When you tell him you don't know how to use this machine, you are not very surprised by his response. Edward cries out in a rage and slams the floor with his claw. The floorboards splinter and crack as the metal appendage rips through it. Then, faster than you could expect, he comes at you and latches his claw around your arm. He drags you painfully towards the machine. Lose 1 health. Well, what an asshole. I think we're going to die quite a lot in this. So we're on 9 health. Oh, there we go. Close enough. You must try. You don't believe he means to hurt you, but you plead with him to release your arm and he does so. You decide it best to try and do as he asked. Turn to 195. Okay. It's not going to go for well. 195. Okay. And that was, I'll try. Give me a moment, you plead as you take a closer look at the device. The metal device is smooth and polished. Okay, so we're back at the dials. I don't know, because the first one we picked was 90 degrees, right? So maybe 90 is not the right way to go. Edward seems lovely. He's 12 years old, but he's been like missing for many, many, many years, and he's like deformed and stuff all of a sudden. The thing is, though, we need to somehow figure out what to do, which way the dials we need to, like, turn are. This is baffling. So, last time we did 90, 121, 0, and 0. So, I don't know what to expect, so let's set it to 100 degrees, 479. We're going to 479. We'll turn it 121. The 247. What's that? The The third dial, I'm going to turn to 47 degrees. I'm going to go by the number that it gives us. So, 467. This isn't going to work, I don't think. 467. And the fourth dial, I'm going to... Oh god, I don't know. I think that we're gonna die again. Just so we all know. Let's go to... Let's leave it at 17. We'll go to page section 70. So he's been through something traumatic then. Yes. He does. He's definitely gone through something traumatic. And he knows us somehow, so maybe there's some, like, some time shit going on. Okay, so we've got a different one that tells us to turn to a different page. So he's pushed us through a doorway. We've opened up a doorway, so each one's going to give us something. So he pushes us through a doorway, and we turn through, well, a portal, and we turn to 276. A searing light and high-pitched squeal makes you grip your head, but it passes as quickly as it began. You find yourself standing motionless until your senses reattune themselves, then look around. You are in a massive cavern with huge piles of rotten flesh and bone stretching as far as you can see. In the dim light above the peak of each mound of meat and viscera, a light is set into the cavern ceiling. Next to each light, there appears to be an opening in the ceiling. Make an extreme composure check. Shit, so we have to add a +3 to this one. Which brings us past our composure. So we fail, turn to 161. So we also lose a composure, I think, as well. So we're just slowly going insane. Deduct. There we go. 2! 2? Why is it gotta be 2? We're going down to 7. Oh. So we lose one of our perceptions. So our perception will go to 7, basically. Great. Didn't get to use it. If you have not yet succumbed to madness, you steel your shredded nerves and look for a way out. Now turn to 203. Well, we've not died, so that's progress in my eyes. 203. Oh, the picture in it. Oh, dude, I wish I could show you, like, properly, like, the picture for it. For, like, this thing with all the mounds of flesh and stuff. The floor of the cavern is a sickening 2-foot deep black soup of blood, guts, and other bodily fluids. Wading through it is hard going. The smell makes you retch uncontrollably until you have nothing left to give, and you finally gain some control over the gag reflex. The piled up mounds stretch as far as you can see, eventually fading into the darkness about 300 feet in either direction. Occasionally, the sound of falling offal puts you further on edge as different chutes open above to deposit more remains into the cavern. You wade on, scanning the walls in the hope of finding an exit. It is not long before you hear a short burst of a loud, high-pitched squeal somewhere off to your left. You may not be alone here. Will you remain still and see if you can spot what made the sound before deciding where to move, or take refuge behind the nearest mound? Oof. So A, stand still and see if we can see what made that noise, or B, hide behind the biggest body mound we can find. Hide. Do you think we should hide? Let's fucking go. So, take refuge behind the nearest mountain to 256. Pushing your way through the foul slop, you crouch down as much as you're willing to dare in the disgusting mess and watch from behind a pile of entrails. After a few moments, a black slimy tentacle flops over the side of the mound to your left, followed by another, then another. Will we A, look down and keep out of sight, or B, keep watching and see what it does? Oof. This one's... This is a chunkier version of the book. Jesus. Oh, will we duck down and keep out of sight, or keep watching and see what it does? Ooh. I had a nap today. I'm clearly tired. I should have had a nap. Duck down. Let's see. We duck down and keep out of sight. Turn to 340. Oh. You hunker down lower to avoid being seen by whatever new devilry this thing is. Relying only on your ears now, you hear it sloshing through the soup of blood. Moments pass, then it starts coming closer. Will you stay put and hope it moves away? Or start moving away from it by creeping around the mound you're hiding behind? Oof. Ew. So do we A, stay put, or B, move away and creep around the mound? Creep, okay. Creep behind, 439. 439. You creep through the slop and offal, moving around to your right as you listen to the creature crawl to the opposite side of the mound. Make an easy 2d6 stealth check, -1. Oh, we did 6 and we rolled a 5. That's good, we passed. If you pass, you manage to basically circle the mound and put more distance between you and the creature. Whatever it was, it moves away and disappears further into the cavern, and you slowly continue onwards. Thank you for keeping us alive, Jenny. Turn to 519. You kept us alive there. I'm just saying, I would have been like, oh. 519, that's where we're going. Hours pass and exhaustion starts to set in. You feel sick to your stomach, but carry on until you can't keep going. As unwelcome as it is, you sit in a small pile of remains against the cavern wall and close your eyes. If you have recorded in your investigator's journal you freed Unlantha, then turn to the first reference associated with the entry now. If you do not have this entry, turn to 397. Oh, this is going to be bad, isn't it? 397. Learned from films. You're good. You're good. A restless sleep takes you as you lie against the cavern wall. The situation seems hopeless as you drift off. You're suddenly woken by a familiar high-pitched squeal. You open your eyes and see a formless spawn moving through the bloody sludge. Another screech sounds off to your left, then another. 3 formless spawn writhe and contort their way towards you. You press yourself against the cavern wall, praying it will somehow give away and free you from this nightmare. But all that happens is a lightning-fast whip from one of the beasts catches you square in the forehead, smashing your skull against the wall. In seconds, as the life drains from your body, the creatures envelop you. Recording your investigator's journal, you were devoured by a formless... Oh, we've died 3 times. Okay, devoured. This is hard, because if we don't roll the right... pick the right things... Whoops. Devoured by... Very difficult. -4. It's a -8 then? Jesus. Damn. This is tough compared to the other one, for sure. Very tough. . So we literally just starved down there, technically. Yes. I don't know. That's tough. Oh. Yeah, that bit is just death. So there's no way to get out of there. I just had a quick look. That's tough. That is tough. Because now we have to start from the beginning again, because that I couldn't go back far enough for that one. Because it was just death. Damn. That sucks. But then again, doing that another way would lead us. We could go back to starting again. Damn. This is tough, this one. I'm struggling with this one. It's fun. The story's there, but because, I don't know, maybe it was the choice we made, it was baffling at the same times. I like it, though. But I'm just like, okay, I don't know what to do with this portal that you're talking about, Edward. I don't even know you, Eduardo. Like, damn. The old lady didn't help us. The old man Peabody didn't help us. He was just like, yeah, I'm going to inject you in the back of the neck. The only one that's helped us is the monster. Oof. I think we could just call it here for this one, I think. Because that gives me enough time to chill and then set everything up for the reading sprint. But what do you all think about this one so far? This one was definitely different. For sure. We didn't even get to fight. The reason why I've got 2 sets of dice is because there's moments where I can have combat. So this would be mine. That would have been the monsters one. Because there is combat in this. And we'd roll our combat, our 2d6, and then add them with like the against the combat in the investigator sheet. Well, that's tough. That's why I put things into combat, because I was like, yo, when we go to fight, but then again, I shouldn't have done that because Lovecraft is not about fighting, it's more about everything else, the investigation, which is why I did put some stuff into perception. But I think I'll definitely do this again, another stream. But this one was tough. It was good and interesting, but when we got to that point where we kept dying, it's strange putting it out. It's you know what it is? I think it's from our previous choices, because it was literally all about this machine, and it was like, well, we've never seen this machine before. And it was even telling us, we don't know this machine. And the fact that we were like, yeah, we don't even know if that's Edward. That's the thing with these type of books, there is wrong choices. You can get, like, done over with this. It reminds me a little, with the little bit of the death loop with the porcelain, us not knowing and stuff, and I guess it's just like us trying to figure out what to do. It reminds me a little bit of Creature of Havoc. But, I'm happy to, end it there. We'll come back to this another day for sure. Because I do want to see what happens. But, let's go get ready, chill, have a drink, have a cup of tea, and we will see. But yeah, thanks for chilling with me. I appreciate it, and much love towards you. I'm just gonna pop that there. This beast of a book, chunky as it is. But yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I will catch you later. Be good. Much love. And, yeah, be good. Cheers.